Now, Andrew Berry, I've been critical of his drafts. Before these drafts is terrible. Before this draft that he had was nasty work. Defensive lineman misses. Receiver misses. Offensive line miss. I mean, he had some of the worst draft classes. We've all talked about it. But let me tell you something. They move on from DePodesta, and Andrew Berry has a draft class in which he looks like he's going to have the defensive rookie of the year in Carson Schwarzenegger, and nobody heard from him. No one heard of this guy. When they said they're taking Carson Schwarzenegger, I'm like, who is this dude? Schwarzenegger? No one knows who this is. And all he's done is come out and be one of the best linebackers, not only rookies, but linebackers, period, in the league. Quinshon Judkins is your best offensive player. Harold Fannin Jr. Listen, you know, there was a top 10 list of the top 10 draft picks that came out, and they got Loveland as being the best tight end. Harold Fannin Jr. is beating him in targets, receptions, and yards. Like, Harold Fannin Jr. is one of those dudes right now. And then you take a look at some of the things like Mason Graham. Mason Graham has played his tail off the last 4 weeks. He's trending in a direction. This draft class is legit. And if Shedeur Sanders can do anything and put himself in a position where he's showing progress and throwing the football and getting some wins, you look at an opportunity where, look, the Cleveland Browns now have a beautiful draft class, and they got guys that are promising and contributing at a high level, and they're rookies. Some of the best players that they have are rookies. So when you look at it, and a lot of people say, well, it's the draft class before. It's the draft classes before. And listen, I'm not absolving him. Like, to me, be truthful, if they jumped up and down and screamed and yelled and said that they needed to get rid of Andrew Berry, I wouldn't trip too much, because there is some things that some areas that he's had some blind spots and misses. But let me tell you why I think he's safe. I'm going to give you 3 reasons. First and foremost is, I don't believe you get rid of DePodesta if you didn't have somebody that was there available. People always talk about, well, DePodesta is moving. DePodesta's gone. Where we always talk about, you can't fire somebody. This first thing we said with Stefanski, can't fire somebody until you tell me who you getting to replace him. Who you got to replace him. Can't just fire somebody. You guys want to fire everybody. Who's replacing them? Let me tell you what. They wouldn't have fired DePodesta if they was not comfortable with the dude taking over. I'm a firm believer that this draft class that he had made DePodesta expendable. I'm going to tell you that. I'm saying that right now. So you can look at it and say, well, DePodesta could be the first domino in guys moving. No, because I think what you look at is, if you got rid of DePodesta and you got rid of Andrew Berry and you got rid of Kevin Stefanski, that leaves D and Jimmy Haslam by themselves trying to figure it out. What are you going to run analytics? Is your scouting department gone? What are you looking to do? The biggest decision in the world right now is at quarterback. You done already said the Deshaun Watson thing was a thing that everybody was in on, and it was aired by you, and you swung and missed. So you mean to tell me you want to go into the offseason and get everybody gone? I wouldn't have a problem with it, but your track record doesn't say that you have a Rolodex full of people ready to go that you're ready to interview right now. And the biggest thing that you're doing with a rebuild is this. To have a rebuild, you need to have a philosophy. You need to have guys identified, and you got to have hits. And the one thing that they have so far is hits. If I'm going into a draft and I got 2 first-round draft picks, right, and Andrew Berry has hit on a multitude of picks, I want to give the guy who had a great opportunity and did some big-time things in the last draft, why would I not give him another bite at the apple? When you can go in and you can lay on the desk and say, I got Schlesinger, I got Mason Graham. I also made the trade that got Mason Graham and got me 2 picks. Not only do I have Quinshon Judkins, and not only do I have Harold Fannin Jr., but listen, I may have the quarterback, and if he plays well enough, I may have found you a quarterback that you can evaluate and at least get to a point where you give him an evaluation in 2026. Why would I start over with people I don't know? he's performed more recently better than the other guys who were up for debate. At one point in time, it was Kevin Stefanski who had that cachet, remember? He was a two-time coach of the year, and he went with 5 different quarterbacks. He went to the playoffs, right? After that year, Kevin Stefanski had the leeway. He had the leverage. But now you've had 2 years back-to-back, and no quarterback has looked good under you. So the reality of the situation is, I don't think it's not even that crazy of a reach to say that Andrew Berry, he got the control right now. Like, when I see Andrew Berry and they taking pictures, he up there with JW and Jimmy Haslam, I show him in Vegas, they seem kind of chummy up there. Does it seem like a person is getting fired when he didn't come out and have to speak during the bye week? Does it seem like a person who just traded Joe? Like, it don't seem like he fazed by a lot of stuff right now. To me, I look at what you've done lately and moving in a direction where you are trying to do a controlled rebuild. The most important person in a controlled rebuild is the guy picking the players. Now, if the players this year was bad, nasty work, and guys didn't have no promise, I would say Andrew Berry might be on the way out too. But his best players have been durable, young. Yes, signed Myles Garrett to come back, and that even paid off. Think about it. He about to break the sack record. He went and mended that relationship and brought him back into the fold. He got Denzel Ward re-signed, right? Grant Delpit, Devin Bush are having great years. Grant Delpit is NFL Man of the Year. He could go into Jimmy Haslam and say, listen, I got the defense solid. Give me 1 more year to get this offense together. I'm telling you, the rest of the season is pivotal. Guys got to put the work in, and guys got to do it and have production. But as far as I see it, Andrew Berry is not a dude that's in any contention of getting fired. I just don't see the firing of Andrew Berry. Now, Kevin Stefanski, that's a whole nother story.